your bodies, that's easy. We train your mind.
Welcome to the First and Goal podcast. You have now entered the set.
And I'm your host, Coach Ken Blocker. And today's guest is University of Akron's former quarterback, Tommy Woodson, a.k.a. the Sheriff.
What's up, everybody? I'm your man, Coach Block, and this is the First and Goal podcast here in TDS studio. So, I'm going to get straight into things because our guest is already here, and I got a surprise guest that'll probably be popping in as soon as he checks his email. But I don't want anybody to feel some type of way, or I don't want nobody to be confused about what I was trying to say. So, I'm going to say what I was going to say on Facebook. I'm going to say it right here, right now, and I'm going to say it live. Coach Block does not hate on kids. I may not like a coach, and there may be things personally that I may not like about coaches, but as far as children and as far as teams, yeah, there is no hate on me. So yesterday, Roseville High School played Millbrook High School. And it was a big game and a big deal because Millbrook was undefeated. Roseville is coming off of a one loss season season so far. And I said my pick is Roseville. And everybody, oh man, you's a Millbrook hater. You've been a Millbrook hater for years. There's no actual facts of that. Nothing about that is factual. Here's the reason why I picked Roseville. Roseville, up to this point, was just a better battle-tested team. The people who Roseville had played had put them in a position to be more ready for the moment. Hype monster will kill you every single time. The only way you can judge your team is if they've been tested. I picked Roseville because they're more battle-tested. It's not a personal thing. It's my opinion based upon who I seen as a football coach. I don't get into fanfare. That's why I don't watch football games with certain people. It's not offensive. People know coming into my house, like, I don't even want to hear that. I'm not a person that's going to say or listen to you say stuff like Mike Tomlin don't know what he's doing. What? Like, what are we talking about? This dude is in the league. He's taking this time to do his craft. This is his profession, and he's done it well. You sitting on the couch next to me. Shut up. People don't understand the preparation and time that goes into being a solid coach and a good coach and knowing how to coach for the moment. I believe Coach Rackley was ready for that more so than other coaches. Some people can get mad at my opinion. I don't care if you get mad at my opinion, but my opinion on my page is just that, my opinion on my page. It has gotten to a time where in the season where we start to differentiate those who are ready for the next step in playoffs and for those who are just ready to have a good season. You don't play for just a good season. You play to get to the playoffs. So for that being said, some of the teams that had the hype has now learned, there's tiers to winning. Especially here in North Carolina, there's tiers to winning where you know as a coach, or you should know as a coach, to prepare your kids to have to beat certain teams to get through certain places. Like if I want to beat or if I want to go to the playoffs, I know the road goes through, and then you list those schools. It's always that way. Since I've been in North Carolina, I've been here for about 10 years now, it has always been that way. Leesville, you had to go through Leesville. For the longest, you had to go through Wake Forest. Now you got to, Cardinal Gibbons is always there. Why do you think Cardinal Gibbons tries to play other teams outside of the state or outside of the area for their non-conference games? It's to warm up so that they can prepare for playoffs. They're not concerned about their conference because guess what? They expect to win. There's a difference of winning and expecting to win. Our guest that we have coming on later on, he can tell you, he went to a school and had a coach who expected to win. So your preparation and your behavior, not just from the players, but also from the fans, was like, whatever. My high school that I come from, it's called Central Catholic. It's where Dan Marino went to school and some others, a lot of others that played in the league. You expect to win. We didn't celebrate after wins. We were just like Cardinal Gibbons in a way. We walked on 2x2, whooped your ass, walked off 2x2. We didn't celebrate till we got back to the locker room. Because why? You expect to win. Your parents expect to win. So when I see new money means, oh, you feeling winning because now it's hot. Well, then that's why I'm not taking new money against the team that's been battle tested. I just looked at the record. Who played better teams? Who had bigger moments early? Wow. That's it. No different than, I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Somebody sent me a message and said, Enlo's doing what you did, bruh. I said, nah, they ain't. What you mean, nah, they ain't? Well, up until this point, the collective record of the opponents that they have played is 9-24. 2-0-6 teams. Am I happy for the kids? Absolutely. But when we talking man to man, coach to coach, fan to fan, dog, stall me out on that. Like, that's where I say we're adults and we're men, and we could be like, yo, for the kids, we are happy for the kids, but let's not get it confused. So then now what ends up happening is you get it confused, then you play somebody where it's like, oh, the real boys showed up, and now everybody's like, what happened, coach? It's not what happened, coach. We've been playing out of our league. I promise you. I coached against Coach Rack twice when I was at Enloe. Leesville, when he was at Leesville, they was always ready. We knew coming into the game how we had to play that game. It's just there's tiers to this. And sometimes you get a team that's a mid team that they're playing above their play rate. And that's cool. But don't ever get it twisted if you haven't been tested. That's all I'm saying. And it's no beef. It's not that. I look at football from a coaching perspective. Now, if you want to say fanfare and who I like, I'm going to always root for the underdog because I love to see upsets. That's why I love what college football is right now. Anybody can win any given Saturday. High school football is not like that. Every now and again, you may get some upsets. And there's politics that go into this, man. There's resources that go into this. Like, for example, I don't feel like Cardinal Gibbons should play against the teams that have to follow the rules of the North Carolina State Athletic Association. Why? Because they don't have to follow all the same rules. They can practice at times we can't practice. They can do things that we can't do. So they shouldn't be in there. So then when people say you don't like Cardinal Gibbons, there's a reason why. Because they don't have the same set of rules. So if we're told we can't practice because Cardinal Gibbons is a private school, if they want to have film and do things up, they can do that. And it's not Coach Wright's fault. He just has a different set of rules and things like that. And I'm allowed to say, nah, I don't like that. I don't think that's right. It is what it is. Does it make me a hater? No. I just don't like that. It's my opinion. Just like anything else. But I also am realistic. When I coached my squad, we were not allowed to go too high. Once again, the guests that we have coming in, they're going to tell you that. You don't want to play too high because it's a quick, fast way to drop a squad when something goes wrong. If Coach Kennedy was on, he was my defensive coordinator and assistant head coach. If something bad happens, keep playing. If something good happens, keep playing. He preached it over and over again. We said, even to our fans, calm before the storm. We're not out here talking crazy. Why? Because every single game you got to bring it because every single team is coming to take your throat out. We're not posting nothing crazy. When somebody posted something crazy about us, like, for example, the last time I was coaching and Broughton posted something crazy, we kicked Broughton's ass on TV. Don't post crazy stuff. Don't do that. What? Expect to win. There's a behavior that comes with winning. And so for those who are like, oh, man, you be hating. No hate. I'm going to explain to you I picked Roseville to win this game August 17th. I got the tapes. Y'all want to see the tapes? Here go the tapes. August 17th. Bang. Dog, we shut Gibbons down. 0 to 28 to 3, McKenzie effect. Dog, we can't be fucked with. If we handle our business, D-line went crazy tonight. We legitimately win states this year, man, with a team full of freshmen and sophomores. I gave a one-word answer to all that. Roseville. Roseville. That was August 17th at 8:39 p.m. So what are we talking about? August 17th. Oh, we gonna and then look, once again, we gonna tear their ass up, bro. Okay. All right, sound good. That's not happening. It's not happening. It's not battle tested. Now, if it was a battle tested situation, okay, well then we'll see. Somebody like a Gibbons in a Roseville, nah, that's tough. Two battle tested teams. They've been there before. But when we talking about, man, well, this is kind of new. Young team. Now, after getting punched in the mouth, now it's different. Because now that team knows what it feels like to lose, and you play differently when you know how losing feels. When you know how it feels to take that loss, everybody from coaches to players, everybody takes it differently once you get punched in the mouth, and especially when you get punched in the mouth and you wasn't expecting it. Now, it's going to be a different team. I had a very good friend and a very good coach in Pittsburgh tell me winning covers a multitude of sins. What does that mean? When you're winning, you glance over the details. Somebody want to tell me the details that you missed last night? 2 onside kicks recovered by the kicker. That's a detail missed. How does that happen? Because you missed the details. And so then when you're coaching against somebody who's battle tested, what do? They watch the film. Hey, man, they vacate before the ball is kicked. Detail. Let's take a chance. Am I saying something wrong? If I am, tell me in the comment section. If I'm saying something wrong, you can tell me in the comment section. I ain't got no problem with that. Tell me I'm wrong. I'll put it to you like this. I coached with Coach Massey in college. Coach Massey is a former NFL player. He's a dog. When you make it to the league, you immediately just be like, all right, cool, because you played on the highest level that we can make it. He tells me flat out, tells the rest of the staff too, don't give me hypotheticals. What do you see on film? Because if they ain't been doing it, they're not going to do it, because that's not who they are. So for a coach to make the decision to kick 2 onside kicks and get the ball back, something showed up on film. But you know why it showed up on film? Because when you winning, you missed details. Because you're winning. But when you lose, guess what you do with that film? Hours upon hours upon hours prior to the hours upon hours that you already put in. I promise you that. Now, you once again, you can get mad at me if you want to. I do this. I've done it. And I've done it on every single level, except the NFL. The only level I haven't been on. From youth to college. I've seen it. I've been on both sides. So once again, y'all, you hating. Am I? Who am I hating on? Specifically tell me, who am I hating on? What am I hating about? And for those who said last night, oh, he hated on Millbrook. Did I? Maybe you didn't get the message that I applied for the Millbrook job. Why would I go apply for a place that I hated on? I applied for the job. Why? Because there's talent over there. There's kids over there. Apply for the job. So with that being said, where's the hate? I don't think there's no hate. Now, for my people over there who wanted to throw in or get in my inbox and talk about everything that's happening at Enloe, as if I hate on kids, I always say I'm proud of the kids. My personal riff with their coach has nothing to do with the kids. Nothing. I want to see kids excel. I'm happy it's finally happening. I mean, if y'all want me to take a dig, then here's the dig. I'm happy it's finally happening. I haven't been there in 4 years, guys. I don't dwell in the past. I'm happy that it's finally happening. Good for them. But just like he said when I was coaching, you got to beat the big ones. Well, last night that was one of the big ones and you didn't beat them. Cardinal Gibbons. And you know them and you didn't beat them. So we'll see what happens against Leesville. Good luck. Somebody I want to shoot out before I go into our guest is I want to go into Corinth Holders High School. That's where I left last year. Last year at Corinth Holders High School, I was on a coaching staff where I literally had one of the worst seasons of coaching I ever had in my life. We were 2-8. Terrible work. But I knew we had talent. I just didn't see that we weren't fostering the talent the way we were supposed to. Now, this is why I tell parents it's important to know who's coaching your kids. The head coach that was there is gone. The argument that we had in that locker room was we're good, we're just not investing the amount of time into the kids that we have here to develop them. So it's going to take a little bit more than just leaving practice at 4:30. It's going to take a little bit more. But when you're not willing to invest that time, you lose. Luckily, they got a coach who's willing to invest that time. They're 6-1. Same kids. Was it the coach? Was it the kids? You tell me. I sat in that room with these guys all last year and kept saying, we got the team to be successful. We just got to put in the work. Got the team to be successful. You just got to put in the work. Not used to putting in the work. So when you're not used to putting in the work, what do? You lose. You miss details. It's simple. Winning is hard. So for those who don't think that it's hard, winning is difficult. And to consistently win is even harder. And when you're taking a program who has had some dog days and you got to get them out of that, you have to put in the extra work. So you can't leave right at that specific time when practice is supposed to be over. You might have to go and do extra film sessions or find a way to watch some extra films. You're going to have to hold them accountable in the hallways and make sure that they're not getting in trouble. You're going to have to do all the things that you need to do to assure consistent winning. So for those who had posted the picture of Coach Rack sleeping, y'all have no idea what it takes to be in that spot. I'm sure that's probably the most, or y'all caught him at a point that was most vulnerable because you just shut down. To do what you're doing in that position, you just shut down. Because I can guarantee you, I'm not in his shoes, but I can guarantee you he does a lot more than just coach football. If you were just coaching football, then you don't get tired like that. But when you have to do that and some more, yeah, you look exhausted. I'm just telling y'all what I know. Now, y'all can feel how you feel, but all I know is what I know. And I've been doing this football thing all my life. And as a coach, I've been doing it for 20 years. I've seen it. So certain conversations, I don't get into fanfare. Y'all can feel how you feel. But on my page, I'm going to state my opinion. You have a choice. Your fingers work. You can take that knuckle and bend it and scroll up. But if you going to come on my comments talking about ball, you're going to get that smoke and we're going to talk like men. And don't talk to me like a fan. And then have that paperwork because I got it. All right? All right. So real quick, got one of the guests coming in real quick. He might stay along while we talk with our other guy. He might not, but I'm bringing him in. And y'all probably wasn't expecting this today, but hey, what's happening, Coach Rack? Coach Rack, you there with me, man?
What's good? What's up with it?
What's going on with you, man? Hold on, man. Let me get you on the screen now. Hold on. You ain't on the screen. Hold on. Let me see. There you go. What's going on with you, my guy?
What's up with you?
Hey, man. Hey, congratulations on the win. That was a big win last night, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, do me a favor real quick.
Huh?
Tell me what goes into winning a game like that, man.
What goes into winning a game like that?
Yes, sir.
I'll show you. Hold on one second. Give me a minute.
All right.
Hold on. Let me show you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, Block?
I got you.
You see who I'm with, right?
Yeah,
It, like, it's bigger than football. We out here doing fundraising.
yeah,
So the thing is, we could get comfortable, we get complacent about just winning the game, where we could be proactive and get stuff done.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's what
yeah,
we're doing. We getting stuff done. Um, Off the field, then on the field, man. You know what I mean? Despite of the week we have and things that go on in life, but we gotta keep fighting, man. Keep doing what we gotta do.
yeah.
That's all we doing. What we doing, man. But man, the win was good, man. You know, like I said again, we can't get so caught up on this to win.
No,
We gotta keep doing what we're doing, and that's what we're doing now. So
yes, sir. Now, tell me, because we can always talk about the wins. Tell me how the loss helped motivate the team to get back on track.
it was just a challenge. You know, it was a challenge more so in the sense of like, hey, we lost. Or did we lose or did we get the game up? You know, but I
Right.
think I'm thankful that we lost because it humbled us. You know, it humbled
Mhm.
us in a way to keep fighting and not to get so again on the high horse. Because respectfully, I told all the beat writers and all the reporters and all that stuff that, oh, we are the number one team in the state. I said, no, we're not.
Mhm.
No, we're not. I
Mhm.
said, yeah, on paper, because we might have 17 to 18 starters coming back or whatever the case may be, but we didn't win the state championship, respectfully.
Right.
We
Right.
didn't get to the state championship, respectfully. We didn't get to the fifth round of the playoffs, respectfully. So how are we the number one team?
Yeah.
We gotta prove ourselves. So in camp, I told my boys, I said, man, the target gonna be bigger. You know, so all the hype was on us and all that thing, all that stuff. And like, man, we gotta play football at the end of the day, man. And you know, that loss I think catapulted us to where we at now. They became to be more hungry, more humble, more determined.
Mhm.
And the results, we see the results of it, man. So we just gotta keep climbing and keep getting better.
Yeah. So then how are you keeping everybody just locked in and humble, man? Because it is when that light is shining, you feel good, don't lie, it feel good a little bit when that light's shining on you. But how do you keep high school guys humble to know, like, come on, man, you can't get complacent with this?
I do my best in regards to make sure I tell them to block out the noise just the same way I gotta block out the noise. It's hard. It's really,
Yeah.
really hard.
Hmm.
But I do a good job. My staff do a good job when it comes down to we be the ones that kind of jump in front of the bullets for our boys sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we are adults, so we can handle ours different than the kids can. And I
Hmm.
think now that they understand that regardless if we win by 50 or we lose by 50, we always gonna be talked about.
Right.
So however you conduct yourselves, however you continue to keep going is what's gonna change the dynamics of our season. And I think the boys understand because again, I don't let them get too caught up on the stars and the offers and all that stuff. Yeah, I give them their hand claps and their applauses and stuff, but I don't do it too long so they won't get the big hand. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So I just continue to be real transparent with them, man, and keep showing them, hey, look, we gotta do stuff in the building first, and then the football stuff take care of itself.
Yeah.
And now we seeing the results of that.
And what's one misconception that you would like to speak to where people may think like you got a whole golden road over there, like it's just paved in gold as you walking down that yellow brick road? What's one misconception you would like to debunk, man?
Man, the misconception I would say is this: I was always a foot soldier, meaning
Hmm.
I was always the one that go to see kids play youth ball. I gotta remember when I first started, when I first came to this area,
Hmm.
and I always myself before I even became the head coach. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And a lot of times, man, guys don't realize you have to operate from a position of leadership before you get a place of leadership.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And I've been doing that ever since I was in college, playing professional ball, even as a coach. I always walk and carry myself as a leader.
Yes,
And
sir.
the misconception is I'm young, I'm
Hmm.
black, got dreads, I'm
You
from
dread it
Florida,
out.
I'm a thug, they don't know who I am. And if you
Yeah.
know me, you only can do one thing. You can love me or you can hate me. And if you hate me, I really don't know why you hate me. You gotta take that up with God.
Yeah.
Um, but I think more so the misconception is, man, they trying to figure out what they doing and what he doing and nobody else doing. I love my boys.
Yeah.
Win, lose, or draw. We go through the fire together. We go through trials together. And they may not like all the time when I get on them, but I love my boys.
Yeah.
Um, that's why. And boys talk. and they tell other people and other players and all other parents that Coach Wright really love us. And
Yeah.
that just it is, man. No, I'm not doing nothing different than another coach doing.
Yeah.
And I'm not making people come over here and want to be in my program. People just they see it from the outside looking in, like, okay, what are they doing that we're not
Yeah.
doing? You know,
Right. Right.
I don't know. I can't tell you that, man. Maybe you can answer that for me. So I don't know.
No, that's what's up, man. And I know you're busy, and we also got another guest, but we got to schedule it where you ain't doing nothing,
Yeah,
and we can just sit down and have some time to just talk on this podcast, man. Just because you started this with me, man. So
yeah.
come
Hey,
on
we got to
now.
get
You,
back on
I
it,
know
bro.
you
We got to
busy.
get back on it. I ain't that
You
busy,
busy, so
man.
you
Look,
just
I
let me
can
know.
make time. I can make time for my brother, man. You just tell me when.
I appreciate it, man. So then let's go ahead. I'll text you. I ain't we gonna put it on here. I'll text it.
All right,
I'll text you
all right,
some times and dates. You just let me know if it fit, my guy.
all right, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Continue the good work.
All right, bro. Thank you.
Thanks. Like I said, man, I don't know. Y'all tell me, man. The man work hard. He do what he need to do. I applaud him, and I applaud any other black coach. Because that's the other thing. It's not easy being a black coach, flat out. And I'm gonna just say it. And I know some people, oh, why you got to make it about race? Because the expectation when you're dealing with young black boys who look like you is different. They look at you different. They have different expectations from you because you look like them. So with that being said, you turn into uncle, you turn into dad, you turn into big cousin, you turn into whatever piece is missing from them. That's what you turn into, and you don't ask for it. It just happens, and either you're good at it or you're not. And if you are good at it, what ends up happening is you end up getting people like our next guest, which our next guy coming in, we're gonna spend some time with him, is a Pittsburgh legend. I love the kid, most humble dudes I've ever met. He doesn't say a lot, but his play was huge and was always a leader in the field. And he continued from youth to high school to college and had a great career in each. So we're going to spend some time with this guy and talk with him, pick his mind a little bit, and hopefully those who are watching and then those young folks that are tuning in can take some of what he gives in this session, sitting with me here. And I got my man, Thomas Woodson, a.k.a. the Sheriff. What's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I had to give you that big ups, man, because first of all, I ain't seen you in the longest, but
Yeah.
I'm always watching from afar. That's one. But two, there's not too many guys that I could say, like, man, this dude has had a clean slate and done it the right way all the way through. And I appreciate that, man. So I'm giving you your flowers to be a guy who just has done it the right way and has done what has been asked all the way through his career, man. So kudos to you for that, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So for those who don't necessarily know who you are, man, tell them who you are, what it is that you do, and where you come from.
All right. So as you can see, Thomas Woodson from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Born and raised. Big on Pittsburgh sports in general. We're big on football here. It's it's in our blood. It's what we do. Football is everything here. We love it. And former college coach, trying to get back in college coaching as well. Just an unfortunate situation to the last school I was at. The school shut down completely. And as of right now, I train primarily quarterbacks throughout the city of Pittsburgh. So I got a lot of still trying to get out there more, but I got a good amount of players and kids that are here in the city of Pittsburgh from youth to high school right now.
Dope. That's dope. So then don't be so modest, man. You really just went around the fact that starting quarterback at the University of Akron. Go ahead and put that in there, man.
All right. So starting quarterback at the University of Akron. I mean, we could go on about like how I got the starting position and things like that later on if you want to talk.
Yeah, let's say we definitely gonna go there.
Okay. 3-year starter at the University of Akron, led to my university to our first bowl win in school history. That season was crazy. To really think about. 3-year starter, second in a lot of records. I could have broke a lot of them, but I got a shoulder injury, which caused me to miss games and be out for a while. So, but second in passing yards in a career, I'm the winningest quarterback. I have the best record as a quarterback
Mhm.
at the University of Akron. But as in records, passing yards, I had the record for most passing touchdowns in the game.
Mhm.
Want to say second in passing yards,
Mhm.
second in a lot. But if I didn't break my throwing shoulder, I probably would have broke a
You
lot of
took
them.
them
But
all. So
yeah,
let's get into how we do this. So for those who are just tuning in, and this is the first time you may have watched my podcast, what I do is 4 downs, and what we have is just some topics that we like to discuss, and inside of those topics, we take some twists and turns. But we try to stay with inside the lines for those topics, and our goal is to help parents and young athletes get some experience from those who have done it and are in the shoes, or coaching people who are in the shoes that you want to be in. So for our first down question, it's going to be, how should a high school quarterback prepare? So for those who don't know, he attended Gateway High School, and that's where I met Coach. I'm gonna call you Coach Woodson. That's where I met Coach Woodson.
yeah.
And our coach and both mentor was Terry Smith, who is the assistant head coach of Penn State University. He was on this podcast about 1.5 years ago. So how do you prepare now, knowing what you know now and going through the gauntlet that you went through with Coach Terry? How do you prepare a ninth grader for what they are about to experience on a, we'll say a 4A, 5A, 6A type level?
485. So are we asking like throughout the week or just get prepared for the season in the beginning? Like,
So I would say, like, heading into your summer, like that eighth grade transitioning to your
okay.
ninth grade summer.
Man, be all ears. Honestly, be all ears. Ask as many as questions as you can.
Mm-hmm.
No question is a dumb question. And really, really get under the wing of the guys who did it and who are doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Great teams are coached by the players,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the locker room, who's a great locker room guy, get under his wing, ask him like what they did, understand and talk and ask questions. Really, really understand people's experiences and see how that can help you as well.
Yeah.
But get out, ask questions, get under somebody's wing, and see who the leaders are.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if you're taking this serious and and you're at a good school, a great school that has years of good and great people, you want to see who they are,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to pass that along when you get in their shoes as well. So ask questions, get along, get aligned, be at places early.
Yeah.
You don't want to be considered as one of those guys.
Yeah.
You want to be considered as one of those guys. But just and just watch who you hang with. Honestly, hang around with.
Mhm.
Who your company is. Are they seeing? Do you see them in your future as well?
Right.
I would say that, but just get under somebody's wing that's a leader that's done it, and
Mhm.
that's how teams are normally good because it gets passed on and it keeps getting passed on. So
Yeah.
for years to come. So
So then let me ask you this then, because Terry gave us a college playbook, like flat out. That is hands down. You
yeah,
guys were operating out of a college playbook. So what would you say about learning? Because I see so many young people have a problem with the learning curve of, they want to be that quarterback, they want to be that guy,
yeah.
but then they're not necessarily spending the time with it. Talk about how you honed your craft with learning the playbook and like film preparation as a young guy.
Like I said, just getting out there and ask questions. When you're a young guy, you don't want to be considered annoying or be that problem or be that guy, be that kid. So you never really know unless you really go out and really do things. So,
Mhm.
but like I mean, you were there, you would know. But a
Yeah.
lot of the guys that Coach Terry surrounded us with great people and great men.
Yeah.
Y'all, y'all answered every call. Y'all were there. So, getting out there, doing more, and showing that you want to do this and be involved it's a great thing too because they could really, really teach you and
Mhm.
see how you are. So,
Mhm.
but asking questions, getting out there, like me for myself when I was a freshman, I played freshman football Then the next year I went straight to varsity.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like anytime, our head coach was the athletic director. So any free time that I had, if I wasn't doing schoolwork, I was going straight to his office
Mm-hmm.
from 10th grade to 12th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Ninth grade, not really sure. You're like, I don't think a lot of coaches don't like young guys. So like
Right. Right.
you gotta earn someone's respect, which I get. And a lot of things now you don't really know until you're older. And
Mm-hmm.
now me being in this profession of coaching, you don't really you understand why you guys did the things that you did.
Mm-hmm.
And so getting out there, asking questions, and just getting out there, man. Do the most. Honestly, you got to do the most. You got to show that
Yeah.
you care. Be annoying, but
Yeah.
a good annoying. So,
And if you could, what are 5 things that, and now that you're a coach and you looked at it as what are 5 things that you think, or it doesn't have to be 5, but just give me a few of what you know going into a high school. See, we'll move up like the varsity guys.
mhm.
5 things you know I'm looking for on film, or things that they know they need to have when they come out that locker room and it's game time. 5 or 4, up to 5. Just give a list of things that like we got to be able to see if he's that guy. These are those things.
Okay, so body language, 100%. Like as being a coach, you want to watch the film, you want to see the games, you want to see the highlights, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But being a coach and a college coach, and if I'm recruiting a kid, I want to see how he operates after a turnover, after a bad play, after if you're on defense, DB, what you did after you let up a big play. You got to have short-term memory, good or bad, a great play or a bad play. You got to have short-term memory.
Right.
So if you do something really good, you got to do it again. If you do something bad,
don't do it again.
Don't do it again. So, and like I said, like I preach this to a lot of guys everywhere I coach. So, like if you do something bad in the beginning of the game, make up for it, because people's only gonna remember that good play that you did. If it was the game winning, stopping touchdown, PBU touchdown, they're not even gonna remember the bad thing that you did.
Yeah.
So just make up for it. Have short term memory and keep going. But I would say body language. I gotta understand. I gotta talk to you. I gotta see how you are as a person. I want to know how your peers see you. The people in your school, from the janitors to your classmates to teachers. How is he? Is he a good person? Because being a good locker room guy is, you got to have that great environment. When a coach is on around and controlling things, how are things in the locker room? Are you a good person? Are you a great person? Are you a negative person? Are you spreading? So I need to know these things. So I would say that. And then you just turn on the film. Is he a guy or not? Is he? Yeah. Is he a guy? Just seeing the what the conditions are. What type of game are you in? Is it a close game? Is it 3rd and long, 3rd down? We need to play. We need to stop. What did you do? And not really just watching the highlights. I need to know the actual conditions of the game.
Yeah.
And see if we need a play, can we count on you? Are you a guy or are you not? Which is fine.
And what is a route? So let's say, because like my high school guy, he could not throw the corner route to save his life. And we practiced it and practiced it and practiced it, but that was just his weakness. He couldn't get the timing because he had to see the guy open. And with that corner route, you go into a space, he got to go get it.
Yeah.
So what are some routes that you would say high school guys, when you cut on that film, you want to see a high school guy, can he make these throws?
I would say, because everybody don't have a strong arm, but if I see you throw a comeback to the field, you're on say you're on the left hash and you throw a comeback to the right sideline, to the right numbers, on time, and out of the break, that to me, as being a quarterback, that is beautiful to see. Or cover 3 seam, you look to safety, try to get them apart, get them go one way, throw a seam right behind the backer's ear, right on the line, or a hole shot to the field, in that 18, 22-yard window, cover 2, too high, and where the corner is not letting you get inside, and the receiver got an outside release and reroute and get and stack and get in that area. But I would say that those are really, really, because I'm not really looking on, just like you said earlier, deep balls, and I want to see if you could really operate the offense. Can you move us down the field? Can you move the chains efficiently?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want to know your numbers. So that as well. I got to know if you're an efficient quarterback or not.
Yeah.
And as a quarterback, you're different for a reason. But do what you do great.
Yeah.
And that's what sets you apart. So everybody's not the same. So do what you do is great and be really good at it.
So then now, one thing I used to say to my quarterback that I got from Terry, because I used to see him drill you with, come on, Woody, throw the oodles and noodles. You get filled up throwing the short stuff. Throw the oodles and noodles.
I use that to this day right now. I use that. So that's crazy that you said that. So I explain that story every time, every school I've been to, the kids I train now. So, and it's crazy. I actually said it in my very, very first interview I got. We played Norway in my 10th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a good game, but this is the exact words I said. Coach Terry used to always tell me, you don't always have to eat steak and lobster.
Mm-hmm.
Them hot dogs and hamburgers gonna get you fed too.
Right.
I'm like, what is he talking about? Like, and I took that as my career. I took that in college as my playing days. I took that. So for everybody watching, that means you could take this little 3-yard pass here, 5-yard pass here. The big plays is going to come, but just move the chains efficiently. As long as we're driving the ball, take what the defense gives you, and you can't ask for nothing else. So just take what the defense gives you.
And the reason why I brought that up is because, one, like you said, that was drilled into us by Palmer, you already missed the Millbrook talk, bro. But I'll get to that at the end. So you got to stay. Me and Rack already handled that. You late. So, but now the oodles and noodles, I had to do that because I had a quarterback that would drop back and everything he wanted was deep. And we had to tell him, like, bro. So my spin was, hey man, oodles and noodles fill you up, bro. Let's not act like we got to throw deep. You're not going to eat at 5-star every day, bro. Sometimes you got to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? And so I got that from Terry drilling in you because, Lord, I remember, I don't know how many 7-on-7s we went to, and I kept hearing, Woody, what are you doing? Come on, man, the hot dog. Throw the hot dog.
Man, I was just doing what I'm saying, just like with kids now, I'm saying what they're doing on the videos and YouTube. I wanna look good too. But little do you know, they're only showing the highlights and not the full game.
Right. Bet. So look, let's get into the second down, man. The second down series is like, how do you handle the hype? So a lot of what I learned and built in my program came from Coach Smith, because Coach Smith had a good balance of humble and hype. Because Gateway is everywhere. Everybody wanted to go to Gateway, similar to what we was talking about with Coach Rack. People wanted to come in because he's seeing how he was loving his players, treating his players. Players looked good. Everybody was Nike down, all that good stuff. But then you still had to play. Yeah. So how did you, as a sophomore starting, how did you balance the hype so that you could still be humble enough to get the job done?
Man, so that was tough. So that was probably the most games Coach Terry lost in his career, I want to say. And being a quarterback, I honestly felt like this was all my fault. That was tough. Yeah, that was a rough season, but we had injuries. Our best players were getting hurt as well, and it was just. But I never looked at it like at that. If we're out here, my 10 other guys I got with me, we're gonna go to war, and I expect to win.
Right.
But head on the hype, just not getting too high or getting too low. Honestly, staying level headed. Because everything could be taken from you like this. So especially with my high school career, me dealing with injuries. My junior year, I broke my shoulder the game before Hines.
Right.
And we still almost won, but I felt like I always think about that. If I never got hurt, we could have won the game, and just things like that. But just never getting too high or too low. Handling the hype, and not really listening to it's good to get that good feedback from your peers and your classmates and everything, but they're not the ones out there putting in the work. You know who's out there. You know who's with you. You know who's next to you.
Right.
So, it's never getting too high or too low, honestly,
Yeah.
and being level-headed, and you know where you come from. So,
do you think right now there's too much going on with do you think it's too much exposure now? Because like I said, we came from that, and where we play Western PA football, that is a thing. Like, I have never not known it to be that way because Friday Night Lights is all we got.
Yeah.
But now it's just everywhere. Even guys that are not that good got a hype monster behind them. So do you think it's too much, too saturated now?
Yeah, for some. Yes and no. I like the publicity that the kids are getting now, and which is good. I'm all for that. Get out there, get your name known, get as much as you can from this sport, from everything you do. But just like you said, with like it's a bad thing because kids felt like they're here and they made it already, which can stop them and not really being as motivated as they were in the beginning. So that's terrible, honestly. And it's like guys that aren't guys, or they need a cameraman, they need pictures here. It's always about like, I don't like that at all. Like, you gotta, like, to me, it's like you gotta be a guy. Like, you just have to be a guy. So like, and everywhere I go, and like, and I spread that. So and I feel like I learned that at a young age. I learned that from playing from Little League and Wilkinsburg. And when I got to high school to Gateway, it was like, you guys, like, you guys humbled us before anybody. So it was like you're not who you really think you are. Like, you need to calm down. Like, there's a guy over here and like really telling us, and it's like, all right, like, when you're a kid, it's like, man, coach is hating.
Yeah.
But as of right now, as of being a coach now, I really understand. You're just trying to keep us level-headed, man. Keep working, never being satisfied, man. You gotta have that. You gotta have that thrill of getting better and knowing that I got better today, and not being satisfied, not being like I'm here, like I made it, which you haven't. But it's pros and cons of both, honestly. But
so being a quarterback though, like, so let's say, like, let's go into college. Let's talk a little college ball. Yeah. You in that locker room, and you know how it is. It's a business. They recruiting every year. You know what I mean? So now that you QB1 and you got the job, does a little bit of that hype go in? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me about the swagger you got to keep, because I'm QB1. This is my squad, and I'm not trying to lose my job. But then there's that fine line of being QB1 and confident, and being QB1 and an asshole. So talk about that a little bit.
So I feel like how I learned football and the how can I say it? How I learned football and what was instilled with me. I felt like I learned it the correct way, the right way. So from, like I said, from Little League to high school, did it over the top. Honestly, high school was college.
Yeah.
So when I got to college, I was ready. I was ready, from the learning of the game aspect, how you conduct yourself, the media, everything. I was ready already. So I just tried to spread that, because I felt like you guys didn't teach me the wrong way. I'm like, there's no way, like, because I'm seeing guys, we're going to school, we're going to college, we're putting guys in school, and I'm like, I come from a winning program. Everybody that was coaching me at high school, they have a name for themselves and actually did things the right way, the correct way. So I just tried to spread that when I got to college. So, but college, I want to say, being QB1 and everything, like, I was always level-headed just because of how I got to be QB1.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't easy. It was honestly awful. It was terrible. So, like, I've been through a lot.
Let's go into third down, because that'll talk a little bit about that. And so recruiting is not a straight line. So actually, before we get into you actually being at Akron, talk about the road to even get to Akron, of how you ended up there.
Oh man, like, okay, this still hit a spot for me, man. I'm not gonna lie, but so enter my senior year of high school. That summer, I committed to the University of Arizona. So my whole thing was like, this makes sense, just because when you were there, those coaching staff. The coaching staff from Arizona were the first school to really recruit me. So
because they were at Michigan.
We won. So when we won the Michigan 7-on-7, go enter my 10th grade year. I know you still got the picture of the plaque.
So
I still got the picture with my gold medal. So I'm like, this is the first school that really recruited me. they basically gave me a verbal right there. I'm like, I'm coming here. I'm big-eyed. I'm loving it. Just
Yeah.
being a football nerd as myself. When you go to Michigan, I'm like, I'm really at I'm at a blue blood school. This
Yeah.
is the
We
staple.
here.
We're
Yeah.
here. My eyes are huge. I'm loving it. I'm loving everything they got up here. So there's nothing you can tell me. Like, if they would have told me right here, like, we want you to come here, I would have said yes right then and there. Just me and just I love
Yeah.
the game. I know who played here. I know what's done here. So
Right.
so I'm like, once they left Michigan and got to Arizona, I'm like, these are the guys that know me. These are the first guys. So I'm like, this is a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm committed to Arizona. I had Bowling Green as well. But Bowling Green wanted me to commit as soon as I got it. But they were coming to see me all the time. Coach Warren Regalia, he's the I want to say head coach at Wake Forest right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the OC at Bowling Green. So he used to come see me all the time. He came to see me like 4 times that summer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't really want to commit that fast. But the school I really wanted to go to, I wanted to go to Toledo because everybody was going there. All the
That's where
guys,
everybody was going. Yeah.
everybody was going. Like, it's his family. That summer before I committed to Arizona, we go to 707 up there. Before that, I'm riding around the campus on the golf court with I can't even think of his name, but he's the head coach of Iowa State now. I can't think of his, but he was the head coach of Toledo first. He's driving me around campus in the golf cart. I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for him to give me. Yes, I'm coming.
Yeah.
They never give me a scholarship. They never really offer me. So I'm like, man, like, I'm waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, I'm cool. So they don't really want me. So I'm going to University of Arizona. The whole year passed. I want to say, I don't really know yet. Coach Terry found out earlier than I did. But he didn't really tell me because it's around playoff time. So like, that would have been messing up my mental and everything. Like, especially being a quarterback.
Right.
I could be biased, but I feel like we're the most important position. I'm just saying this
center, but all right.
All right, that's true. But he never told me until after the end of the year. So like, after we got done. So because a lot was going on that senior year. Our school board was trying to get rid of Coach Terry for no reason. So we didn't know if we were going to have a coach or not, which was my senior year was crazy.
That was crazy work. Yes.
Yeah. So I want to say, so the season's done. We lose to Woodland Hills. Probably a couple days later, Coach Terry called me to his office, like he's tearing up. I'm like, what is he? Like, he didn't want to tell me. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, I don't know what he could possibly tell me. He's like, yeah, so I just talked to Arizona now, but he told me before, like, I talked to him like a month ago. He talked to him like right before like the last game of the year, kind of the playoffs started, that this will happen. But he told me, like, I just talked to Arizona and they're just pulling your scholarship, like, and giving it to somebody else. I'm like, why? Like, I'm in there. Oh man, that was crazy. And I'm like, why? Like, what I do? He's like, there's nothing you did. Like, they just felt like they could give it to somebody else. So I'm like, man, like, and this is probably, so signing days beginning of February. This is around November. So it's really, I got a month until signing day. So at this point, I don't really know if I'm going to play at the next level because I'm not 5-star recruit. I can't wait as much as everybody else. I can't. And at the quarterback position, everybody commits sooner than anybody else. So everybody got their guy.
Yeah.
So, and at that point, Akron came in. They're like, we're going to give you a scholarship. I wasn't too thorough at the time. I was just sad still, honestly. But University of Akron gave me a scholarship, and it was either there or go to Slippery Rock. And they gave me a scholarship too. And I'm like, I just didn't have, like, there's no, any school, if you got a chance to play at the next level, that's a blessing. But just me speaking as being a kid, I didn't have dreams of playing Division II football.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to Slippery Rock. Like, so I took my official to Akron. I committed there. I signed, and that's how I got to the University of Akron.
And see, that's your story is one of the reasons why, because a lot of people, here in North Carolina, it's like, oh, he just popped up in North Carolina doing this. And it's like, I try to tell people, now I come from Pittsburgh and years of coaching and working with students and working with people like yourself, where the knowledge that I'm giving these people is because I've seen it firsthand. Because I watched Rich Rod shake your hand at Michigan. And I watched him say, I want you here. And everybody was hyped, like, yo, this is over. Like, he's a Michigan guy. Then when he went to Michigan, it's like, oh, well, he just gonna go wherever he go because he said he was his guy. And to not see that, it's like, yo, I gotta teach people because I'm learning on the fly as a young coach too. Like, now we gotta teach people that you can't fall into these coaches like this because it turns into business. Because it wasn't personal, it's just this is business.
Yeah, and I didn't hear from them. I tried to call them. I went straight to voicemail. They could have blocked my number at the time because I wanted to hear from them, and that's what happened. It's a business. Yeah.
And so then now when you're at Akron, and like you said, because I have a very similar story, like where my mind was not in it because I wasn't in the place that I wanted to be.
Yeah.
How did you flip the switch though? Because you had a great career at Akron. So how did you flip the script, realizing that I still got the opportunity and like my recruiting didn't go the way I wanted it to?
Honestly, man, that's the most I ever prayed in my life. Being in college, I'm away from home, not too far, but you're still a kid, 2 hours away from home. You're still trying to figure out life, and you're really contemplating if this is really for you. Honestly, I played football my whole life, but you really get to that point, to that stage in your life, and it's like, is this really for me? Is this what I really want to do?
Right.
Because, like you said, it's a business. So once you get there, they do whatever to get you there, and once you're there, it's like
it's on.
It's on. It's there. It's like
it's on.
It's on. It's not. It's the real world now. Like it's life. So and it was tough. So like going into a school, I'm not going to downplay University of Akron, but we're not a football school. Coming from Gateway in high school, like we're a football school. So coming from a football school and entering college, and football is honestly the worst school on campus. So people don't know, my whole first 2 years of college, I didn't wear any football attire on campus.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I used to wear actual clothes. I used to be fresh to class. I didn't wear no football attire. I didn't want people to know I played football because it was nothing but negativity about the football team, which so before I get there, like entering that year, we were 1-11 the year before. So it was just, and we're a soccer school. We're a really great soccer school.
Okay.
Great soccer school. So 1-11. Then we get 5-7. We're still losing, and then before that, we didn't have a winning season since I want to say 2006 or so. At the time.
So you're looking at this mountain like, damn, this is where I'm at.
This is where I'm at. It's a lot, but I always just say, like, I always try to put, like, there's a lot of people that I know, like the best football players I ever known in my life didn't even reach the next level of college. The best football player I know now, still my life that I saw, he never played college football.
Right.
So I used to always think about little things like that, like how, I mean, it's not what you wanted, but this is still a blessing, man.
Yeah, and you're right, because in our area of Western Pennsylvania, it's so saturated with talent. There's people that, and this is what I try to explain to parents, there's a lot of people that never even get the opportunity to see the next level at all. They're at the crib, like, and it is because either they didn't make the right decision or recruiting didn't go the right way. But it's like, and like you said, we're used to that, where it's like going into a program that's not necessarily winning, or the equipment ain't the way. You're like, whoa, where I come from, everything A1, like
everything's up to par, man. It was huge cultural shock, man. It was crazy. But football was the bottom of the totem pole. Like, we were the worst sport on campus at that time. Yeah, for sure. My first couple of years.
So how'd you take dude's position?
I didn't really take nobody's position. Honestly didn't really get a chance to really get, like, it was never a battle, honestly. So like entering my redshirt freshman year, my redshirt freshman year, the two older guys, I was third string. So the two older guys, they ended up getting hurt. I started my first game in the middle of the year at Ohio University. I had a great game. We lose that game at the very end. And then the next game we played Ball State. I had a great first half. Second half, I threw 4 interceptions. So RPO is run blocking, and balls getting tipped up the line, and I literally threw 4 interceptions, and that's probably my worst game in college that I had. And I got benched, and I was supposed to never see the field after that ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So entering the next year, we had so one of the guys that were hitting me the previous year, he graduates. Then the starter, he was a senior, and then we had another guy who was in my class actually, like, and this is another thing. So like I used to know all the quarterbacks that all the schools that I wanted to. I knew all the kids that were hitting me.
Yeah.
I knew all the kids that were going to certain schools that I wanted to go to. And I used to
Yeah.
honestly look at how were their careers with mine lined up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just who I am. Like I'm not so
a competitor.
yeah. So we get a guy he was a top 15 quarterback in our class. And he went to the school that's literally in my backyard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He went there and he transferred to Akron. So they put him in front of me. So I'm third string heading into that spring before the season.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the year, they kind of told us it's going to be a battle between you three guys. It was never a battle. I never went with the first string the whole spring. And so spring is done. I'm really contemplating on if I want to come back, but my teammates is like literally telling me like, yo, you got to stay. Like you're going to have to play like at some point. Like, I'm like, I can't deal with this. Like how I'm getting treated. Like it was bad. And I'm like, I mean, I'm not really going farther of what things like more stuff happened, but but it wasn't fun for me. It was sad.
You was losing the love.
I literally was. And I'm like, I can't be here.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed. We go into that fall camp. We get a grad transfer from Maryland. So I'm fourth string. So, and for everybody who knows, like quarterback, there's so many reps you could give everybody.
That's it.
So, because the more reps you get a quarterback, the better they're going to be. So you got to give the guys that you think that are going to play and are better. You got to give them reps. You got to give them. They have to practice. So me being fourth string, there was certain days I wasn't practicing at all. Like not sweating, like not doing anything, so. And then a lot of people don't know when on the offside kick team, they had me on the front line. They had me on the first line, like getting ready for week one. Like
that hurts.
I'm like, this is not like this is crazy. So to fast forward a little bit, by week 3, so week 2, the guy that was the starter the year before. So I was so sad the week before we played Pitt at home. I didn't play at all. I'm playing against I'm seeing all my friends. I'm seeing everybody. Everybody's there. Everybody's like coming to me, Woody, what's going on? And I'm there's nothing I could do. So we lose the Pitt. So the guy that was the starter the year before, he gets a concussion. Another guy, one of my friends that I know, Mike Capera, gives him a concussion from Woodland Hills. Woody High. So he gives him concussion. So the guy that really wanted to play, that was in my class, it's his time. Like it's his time. Like take the keys. Like you don't got to split reps. We were kind of doing like a 2 quarterback system at the time to really a guy who they felt like was going to separate themselves. So then following week, we play Savannah State. So when you play a smaller school, you're honestly paying them to play you. It's a couple minutes before halftime. We're losing 9-7. Savannah State hasn't won a game in 23 games. They put me in. We went 56-9. I never gave the job back. And that's how I started. That's how I played.
That was college.
That was college. It was never really like a battle like in camp or like in practice. It was kind of I got in the game. So imagine being a quarterback. You got to have like a lot of reps, a lot of repetition. So, and you got to know your guys. I didn't practice with the first string until I got in the game. That game.
Baptized by the fire now.
So it was like right now, what you gonna do? And I try to do my best, and I had 4 touchdowns. We won 56-9, so like I felt like I did well. And that same year, we ended up going 8-5. I felt like we ought to play more. We won 10 games that year. Ended up winning our first bowl game that year against Utah State at Boise State Stadium on that blue turf.
I remember it.
And the rest was history. A 3-year starter, and I never gave my job. I couldn't. I didn't. It was just.
So now here's my next question. That takes me to the 4th down because you fought through it, right?
Yeah.
You see now these dudes is playing 3 games, 4 games, and they going in the portal.
Yeah.
So the question is now, transfer portal, NIL, all that coaching and all that. You experience basically what these guys are going through and saying, I'm out.
Yeah.
You persevere and you got the starting job. So the question is now, how do you feel about these guys who are just jumping in the portal saying, I'm out of here?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you just quitting, like, you really got to sit down and look at yourself in the mirror and really be real with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of this build character as well.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing, like, what type of person you really are.
Mm-hmm.
So I get, like, I don't mind. Honestly, if the transfer portal thing was a thing when I was in college, I would have left for
You would
sure.
have been in it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure. I would have left because it wasn't fun for me at that time. And I've been here a while.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a lot of kids are transferring after not playing their true freshman year, not being a true freshman. Like,
Right.
that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But if you've been there and you did your time, like, it was like, it's year 3, nothing's changing. I kind of get it. I respect it.
Okay. Okay.
NIL, in that sort of sense, I wish that was there when I was in college. Oh, man. But I love it. But there's certain things I don't like how guys are, like, leaving their schools to go to another school for NIL. Like, if you had, like, history here, you created your foundation here, you created your name here, and you're going to somewhere else. Like, I don't kind of like that, I would say, because you're kind of leaving. When you go to a school, this is your family.
Right.
You're kind of leaving them.
Right.
But, like, when you pick a school, you can't just, like, I'm going here for this coach and this coach, because, like, a coach can end up leaving.
Mm-hmm.
You got to fall in love with the school, your peers, the people there. Like, you got to fall in love. Can I see myself on campus walking through these halls for 4 years, 3 to 4 years? Or kids are trying to do 3 years and be done, I guess. But can you see yourself being a student athlete here?
Yeah, yeah.
So I would say that for sure. But I like how the players can kind of control what they can do, because, I mean, a coach can get up and leave and everything could be all right.
Right.
So, and then the player that came here for that coach, he's sitting there in quicksand, sitting there stuck in the mud. So, but it's pros and cons to everything, man. It's but I'm here for everything. NIL, I mean, I love it as well, because a lot of guys don't reach that pro level.
Yeah. What you think about these high school guys? Now, is PA giving them NIL? Because they just ruled for NIL here in North Carolina.
I think so. There's certain, I want to say, like, Texas don't get anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to say, and I don't think Ohio does either.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. But I like it, because you never know what can happen. But I don't like how, like, certain guys, there's a lot of guys leaving their schools to go to other states if they're a big time recruit just to get money.
Get that money.
Yeah. You're going to get your money regardless if you're a big time recruit. So, like, I mean, you could wait a couple years, like, you're right here with your family, your peers, because you never know. Like, when you think about it, if you're a big time recruit at your school, you're bringing attraction. So once you come here and schools are looking at you, another school could find a guy on your team that you grew up with, your family. This is your brother. They could like him too, and you could bring him along as well.
Right.
A lot of guys aren't thinking like that. They're just like, oh, I'm not getting paid here. I'm out. So, like, you're going to get there. Yeah, like, if your work ethic's there, you're going to get there. You're going to get what you deserve. What you put in. So
and now at coaching, like, because quarterback, the one thing I will say is, if it's good, quarterbacks get the praise, but then if it's bad, quarterbacks are the first one. I don't care who mess up.
Yeah.
It's the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
So I like to always discuss on this podcast about the mental side of the game, man. How do you handle that? Because I would say the mental conversation is new. When you were coming through, you guys were probably like the tail end of being able to coach hard. Like, coaching has changed so much now, because you got to take in consideration somebody's mental stability.
Yeah.
How do you handle that, or what do you propose these young folks handle that at the quarterback position? Because you guys have to have y'all shit together 110% every game, every snap, no plays off.
Oh, man. So I just look at it as quarterback is just like I said, me being biased, it's the most important position. The team looks at you. Everybody's looking at you. Your body language is everything. Can't get too high or too low. and you got to bring everyone along with you. So if that person's not, you feel like that's not with you, you got to be the leader to bring them with you. How are you talking to them? How are you, like, this is your team. Like, so you got to really be hands-on and grasp it all.
But how'd you get yourself out of those? Like, for example, you said I threw 4 picks. That was the worst game of my life. How do you not stay in that spot where you know, all right, I got to play for the next snap, or okay, we lost that game, I got to get out of this funk? Because these young kids, I see them, and I don't know, I could be wrong, maybe because I'm getting old, but they stay in a funk a little bit longer, and they're a lot more emotional about things. Whereas it's like, you're a quarterback, man, shake it off. Shit.
Yeah. So just like I said, everybody's looking at you. All eyes on you.
Yeah.
So as a quarterback, we're only going to go as far as you take us. And just like I said, if you're messing up and this is a bad play, like for me, throwing 4 interceptions, it can't get no worse than this. And I'm a firm, true believer in confidence. Like, I have confidence in myself that we're going to come out here and win. I'm going to execute. I got to do what I got to do. And just my confidence, and confidence spreads. I'm not saying cockiness, but confidence. You gotta believe that you're coming out here and you're going to win, and you're the right guy for the job. So I would just say, this is like, you got to think of this is the worst that you're ever going to be. It's never gonna get no worse than this. Move along, man, and just what it is. It's one of them times. Like, and then everybody's not great every game. All the greatest athletes, the people that you look up to, try to use examples of the guys that you looked up to. Everyone has some type of problem in their life that they got to get over. They got to get over the hump. So like, and just, well, like I said, just find out the guy that you look up to. I asked, like, who you look up to? Who's the guy that you idolize? Why do you play this game? All right, what is something in their life that they went through? Like, what do you like? Did you stay in it? Like, and honestly, like, I don't know, man. It's just how I am. Like, it's only the worst you're going to be, honestly, man. Like, seeing who you idolize, all right, what did they go through in their life that really forced them to really go even more harder? So that's what it is.
And so for those who don't know, down here, and I'll tell you, Woody, because I don't think you know. So because I seen what happened to Dondi at 7-on-7, I don't like 7-on-7. Like, so down here, all the coaches laugh like, oh, he's a 7-on-7 hater. But it's just because I seen one of the most gifted athletes I've ever seen in my life lose a lot because of a 7-on-7 play, which he ended up scoring. He caught the ball. It still was a great catch, but he tore his whole knee to shreds, right? So what do you think about, like, the 7-on-7 movement? And then also, like, do you believe there should be load management for a quarterback in their throwing shoulder, like throughout the summer? Like, how should a quarterback train and not throw their arm out?
That's tough. Just like I said, anything can happen, honestly, with injuries. I like 7-on-7 just because it's kind of like our football's AAU of basketball. So that's why I kind of like it. But I mean, you are gonna get those players that's like dirty and trying to hurt somebody else, but not really thinking of the big picture of this is not the season. This is not. We're all working out here, working on our crafts to get better and working against somebody else that we're not going against every day, which is our own teammates. So but I understand of getting hurt, but I mean, you could get hurt in any other ways. All types of ways.
So you come from the adage that quarterbacks should be throwing as much as they can.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Tell me if there's something wrong with your shoulder, like, let me know. Like, right now when I train kids, like right now during the season, like there's this one kid that wants to come to me twice a week, and I kind of I want to get him on the days where the offensive side of the ball is not the focus of the day. So I'm not having you throw a whole bunch of times at practice, and then you come and see me, you're throwing more. So, and then just use your resources. Use what you got. Use what you can. Take care of your body as much as you can. Like, are you doing?
You said that.
Like, so are you doing? Like,
you got to rehab. I'm sure you got to go see him. So do you start that? because a lot of high schools don't have that type of access, right?
Yeah.
So what can a young quarterback do to rehab or to keep his stuff up? Because, after practice, Coach Smith kept you iced down and everything else, but everybody don't have that. So what are some of the after practice rituals that you need to do to make sure you keep your arm stable?
Ice your shoulder and your elbow.
Okay.
If you feel anything, ice your shoulder and your elbow. If you don't have ice at like your football facilities, man, do it at home.
Yeah.
30 minutes, a good 30 minutes. Ice your shoulder and your elbow because you don't want to feel when you get to that point where your whole arm is numb. But icing your shoulder and your elbow, doing that. Band workouts to strengthen your shoulders. What else? And getting a massage. A massage of everything. And it's not just your shoulders, so it's your back, it's your everything. What you don't think really has enough that goes with your thumb shoulder and your thumb motion, everything, it really does. So getting massages on your traps, your everything, honestly. So if you can get that.
Okay.
I tell players, they think it's funny, but like players I got, like I see them, I'm like, that's your girlfriend? They're like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. So I've been coaching, I coached D2 the last couple of years. We don't have a masseuse.
Yeah. Get her to rub your shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have
her rub your shoulders. Get a massage. You use your resources. Use what you have. Because when I was at Akron, we didn't have a masseuse. Well, we had a masseuse, but it wasn't for the football team. And I got in trouble for using the masseuse when I was in college, which is crazy. Yeah, it was for the track team. But the masseuse didn't care at all.
Right.
So I snuck and asked her, like, can I please get a massage?
Right.
So it came to a point I got in trouble for that, to where as my football, like the football team, we all put our money in, the little bit of money that we were making.
Yeah.
We got our own team masseuse. We should go to her house and we just all paid her out of our own pocket.
Right. Just to get right.
Just to get right. It's what you need. So just try to use your resources as much as you can, honestly. Yeah.
Definitely. So then we've been talking for a while, so I don't want to hold you for your day for too long, but tell the people how they can get in contact with you back at the crib, or if somebody just wants to watch film. Like, matter of fact, before we go, let's talk about film, because I believe film is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Young quarterback, right?
Yeah.
When he sits down with his huddle, how does he start to read coverages? I had somebody ask me that, right? So I'm going to ask you, because that's what you do. That was your job. That's your profession. You're a quarterback. So you're a quarterback. You get the playbook. You know your playbook. You get who you're playing, and now you got huddle, and you sitting in front of your laptop like I'm sitting in front of a laptop right now. Where do I start?
Safeties. See the top of the defense. Corners lie, safeties tell the truth. That's everything. And how I try to simplify it, if it's an odd number of safeties, the coverage is going to be odd, because that's what you're going to get at the high school level. There's very few schools, especially right now, that's kind of going to try to change and switch safeties and roll the safety down. It's not a lot of schools doing that. So I'm going to try to simplify this as best as I can. And then your best teacher is your experience. So you're going to start seeing things once you start playing even more. But safeties.
Okay.
Safeties for sure. So if it's two safeties, it's only going to be an even number of what the coverage is. It's only going to be an even number besides zero.
Right.
Besides zero.
Right.
But
so for guys that are watching this, like I keep telling y'all, and I preach it time and time again, you spend more time watching film than you do actually playing the game. And there's a reason for it. You need to study your film, because what you see on the film will manifest itself in front of you. And once the two merge, now you're playing football.
Yeah. High school, like I said, you like all the coaches from you, Coach Cooley, Coach Davis, Coach Beebe, Coach Terry. Once I got I'm not gonna say I was ready when I was playing. I was ready. I'm from coverage standpoint. But the only thing that changes is just the speed of the game and process information faster. That's the only thing. And that's gonna come from when you come from ninth grade to junior varsity to high school to college. Like that's going to come. So, but as in figure out coverages, I was ready. I literally was ready. Yeah. And before you get me off here, I want to tell a good story too.
Go ahead.
All right, because of you. I tell people this story all the time. Enter my 10th grade year of me, my first year starting. Do you remember what you said to me about how I was throwing?
You were patting the ball.
Right.
And I told you, if you keep patting the ball, corner's going to break on it because you would pat,
Right
and
before I
throw the
throw,
ball.
and in a good corner, they're gonna look at my feet. So if I got a quick game feet, as soon as I pat the ball,
You're
they
gonna
can
take
sit on it. They're gonna break on it. I say that all the time.
Tendis, and I remember when you were dropping because you were trying to cheat the throw, you would step off of your path to try to get the ball. I'm like, yo, man, why you keep hooking your foot back there? I got big feet. Nah, man, that ain't it. Like, and what he's talking about is like where we come from. Those are the type of details that people were paying attention to because film is always on. So literally, I was standing behind him and I would see him like, yo, why does he pat the ball? All right, let me see. He did it again. Let me see. Did it? So then now I got a rhythm for you. So if I'm coaching against him, I would tell them when you see him pat that ball the third time, it's coming.
Break on it. Go get it. And I say that to everybody now. I'm like, try not to pat the ball. A lot of kids patting the ball like it's just second nature. It's just what I do. I'm like, well, like I was the same way, but just try to get yourself ahead. The small details, the small things matter because just like you said, the best football players are the ones that watch film the most.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to see.
I'm studying you.
I'm studying you. I'm trying to see the smallest thing. What's the difference?
Yep.
Like when I get there, like I ask, like every school I go to, what are you looking at on defense? How can you tell if it's a pass or run? And I try to help them out. Like, look at that right guard. Look at that right tackle. This is how he sets every time on a pass play or a right play or a quarterback. What is he doing before every pass play? Oh, he's rubbing his hand on the towel, or his feet is offset a certain way. Like
or the receivers, you can tell the receivers how they break the huddle.
Right, they're running to the line. But you're right though.
Yeah.
So.
And so now, because we can talk football and have fun because we did all the stuff for the parents and all that stuff. Now, when we talking football and we're talking football, and you're in the room as a coach and y'all cut on film, what's something that you can't stand seeing where you're just like, man, get this film off here, man, get it off.
Effort.
Mm-hmm.
Effort. You can't coach effort, and effort honestly going to take you a long way more than anything. Like we had a certain guy at the last school I was at. There was a guy that was always around the ball. So when we fumbled, he recovered like 6 fumbles in like the first like 4 games of the year. Just because he was just being around the ball. He wasn't the greatest athlete. He wasn't the best athlete, but he knew what he was doing. He knew the plays. He was a great third down guy. So when we needed a play to move the sticks, he's open. And he was just around the ball. You can't coach effort. It's just effort. I would say effort you should rub me the wrong way because it's like, do you want to be out here or not? Because there's guys that are itching to be in your position. Right. And you're taking it for granted. So like, and you can honestly you got to think like this. You could honestly get hurt the next play or everything could be taken away from you. So like, love it. And another thing I always say too, I ask a lot of guys from all levels, do you believe in the football gods? Yeah. Because they're real. No. Man, they are real. You gotta love this game. You gotta respect this game, and it's gonna love you. So, have to. So I ask that all the time, like, because I don't want to pull something out of you that's not in you. If you don't believe it or trust what I'm saying, or we don't think the same way, and I'm telling you something, it's like, it rubs me the wrong way. So
I agree, and I'm the same way because if you're, I can coach you if you don't the X's and O's. I can get that. But if you ain't giving me effort, then why am I wasting my time? Because what are we out here for? And that's the entitlement that I think a lot of people, young people, get. And I think sometimes, personally, my opinion, just as an older coach, it comes from parents because parents are not the ones that's drilling the kid like, yo, nah, coach said this, get it done. They'll come to bat for a kid, especially in high school. They'll come to bat for a kid. Well, my son feels. Football is not a place for your feelings.
No, not at all. And like, it's like I said, when you guys, like when you got to college, how was it? Like high school, even when in Little League from Wilkesburg, I got my feelings hurt at a young age. So it was getting me ready for what the World War was. And like your problems, as sad as it sounds, nobody cares about your problems because everybody has problems, including the coaches. But once you come here on these playing grounds, like this is supposed to like alleviate all that pain. This is supposed to be your happiness. This is supposed to be, so keep all that wherever it's at. Keep your problems and whatever you're going on over there. When you come here, it's time to work. It's time to really get things together. It's time to work.
Because
So
at the end of the day, once again, and I know people get down here probably get tired of me talking about him, but I learned so much in a short period of time from him because Coach Smith didn't let us make excuses. Literally, it is what it is. I used to hate hearing that. It is what it is.
it
You be
is
like,
what it
no,
is.
what you
Yes,
going? You be like, but Coach, that. It is what it is. Either you
man.
do it or you don't. Like, come on,
Right,
man.
man. That's man. It is what it is. No explanations, no excuses. I'm trying to think what else. Just like you said with the eating noodles, like
Yeah,
I take it from everybody. With
it's
you
no,
with patting the ball, like,
yeah,
and then football is just not the game of football, man. It's life, man. It teaches you discipline. It teaches
yeah.
you family. It
Mhm.
teaches you how you're supposed to interact with one another because everybody's different.
Right.
But man, football goes a long way. It's just not
And
about
where we're from,
football.
and I, one of the young men, I have an article, maybe I'll send it to you. He was like, when we started winning, when I was coaching, he said, man, Coach Blocker always talks about how it is in Pittsburgh. Well, the reason why I talk about this is because Western Pennsylvania, where we're from, it starts when you are 5, 6 years old. So like when he speaks about an area called Wilkinsburg, there is so much talent in this area that when you get done, it all spreads out. But we're all
Yeah,
alumni from that. So I played at Wilkinsburg with the Ollies and the Bees and all that because
yeah,
this is where our grassroots are at. Like, so even though he may go to Gateway and I go to Central, we still feel like we're a part of this fraternity, and you got to answer questions for why you getting your ass kicked out there. Like, even if you go to another school, you're gonna get called out. Like, why y'all over there? What? And that's the camaraderie that I think is missing from a lot of these young parents and a lot of these young players because you'll just transfer your kid because you don't like the situation. And so then now we got this brawn thing going on where we all may come from the same youth program, but when we split, bro, I'm coming at your neck.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's a different culture. Like, and I was trying to explain that down here because it's a little different. Like down here, it's a quarterback's dream because everybody trying to throw the ball, everything's inside zone. Let's rock. Everything's off the inside zone, right?
yeah,
And so literally when we got hot at Enloe, it's because I just made it Western PA football. Okay, I got 3 big backs, and we just gonna run the ball down your throat.
man.
And you end up finding out who really wants to play this game. And there's some things that I want you to talk about just as far as like mindset. Because we now, like I said, we did the stuff that I do for the parents, but I just want you to talk about the mindset because so much goes into training to be a dog. Like you played against guys that are now in the NFL.
Yeah,
And this was like every Friday. This wasn't like every now and again somebody showed up. Every Friday from Miles, et cetera, you playing somebody that's in the league.
yeah.
What's that mindset even as a youngster? You get what I'm saying? Like, what
Man.
is that?
So I mean, just like I said, with me playing a quarterback position, so like my whole life, I played football. So it's just you're a guy or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm not trying to say it be cocky, but I felt like I was a guy.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm out here, I'm putting the work in, I'm putting the time in. I love this game. I expect great results,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just who I am as a person. So like with the game of football, I felt like I excelled at all levels. I did pretty well, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm putting the time in, I expect great results. I don't care who I'm playing
You
against.
just said my next question because I was going to say there's a speech somewhere that I did where I told the kids that I was coaching, y'all keep trying to cheat the game.
That's
The
not
one
it.
you can't cheat this game, guys.
Uh,
The work, even when you put in the work, it shows. When you
yeah,
don't put in the work, it shows. And I can't say it enough that all of this plays a part. So, even when you have an outside trainer, that doesn't mean that the outside trainer is right, your coach is wrong. All this blends together because this is a truly mentally exhausting sport that
yeah.
is 365 days a year. There's no such thing as an off season.
Especially up here, like down south, like you guys, like you North Carolina viewers, you kind of get better weather than we do, but we're still doing football activities with snow, hail, like it didn't matter. And there was no excuses. You had to be there. There's no such thing as voluntarily workouts.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as voluntarily workouts. There's no
Right.
it's mandatory.
Everything is mandatory.
Everything's mandatory. You have to be here. There's no such thing.
Let me ask you this: did you take a vacation during the school year, or not even during the football season? Did you take a vacation?
The first time I got on a plane was college spring break. Besides football, but first time seeing the beach was college spring break. That was my sophomore year.
And that's so like down here, like I have had arguments with parents, like, what do you mean he's going on vacation? We got a season, like, he's going on vacation. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's family, and you gotta have everybody as much as you can so they can trust the next person.
Right.
And if I know you're not here doing these workouts, people are not going to trust you because I can't depend on you.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just all it is. But I know there was no such thing. Even in the summer, I'm here.
Even in the summer, that I play football. That's what I do. Ain't no
football. It's all year round. And like during football season, when football season's over, you get that Christmas break.
Yeah.
You're coming back the first week of January when you come back from school. So,
let's get that lift.
Yeah, let's get that lift there. We're doing speed and agility in the gym. We're doing as much in the hallways. The hallways is this small. we're doing something. We're working out here. It was a business. So like I said, Coach Terry did a great job of me. When I got to college, I was ready.
Yeah.
I was the stuff I thought was normal when I got to college and seeing people coming in from my class, my freshman class, and they're not used to this. It's like, I thought it was crazy because I'm like, this is not normal for everybody. I'm meeting kids from Florida, from Alabama, Georgia, some like other places. And I'm not going to say everybody because some do come from great programs, but there was a lot of kids coming from all different places. And it's like, this is crazy. And I'm like, this is normal. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is normal. Like you didn't do this in high school? No, I didn't do none of that.
I promise you, man, and I can't wait till his season is over. My linebacker that is he's down in Texas, and he was like, yo, I've seen like the first time somebody yelled at a kid at college, he like cried. And I'm thinking like, Coach Block, that's a Tuesday. That's a Tuesday after practice that he's just dog cussing. It's like,
man, the worst. I used to, so like we got humbled early.
Yeah.
We should literally be for Gateway, for North Carolina viewers, Gateway Gators, Gateway Senior High School here in Pittsburgh. We should literally be on the field like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get chewed the next morning on film because I did this. Like during the game, like during the game, like we should be scared of film the next morning. We should be literally talking like, that's going to be film. Oh no, I'm going to get chewed. Oh no.
Right.
Like, film Saturday morning was like, man, you had to man up. You had to really, people used to, I used to dread Saturday morning film. Like, oh man, but I needed it. It got me ready for the next level. It got me ready for life and how things are. But that's like I said, you don't really understand things until you get older. Like, I'm thankful for it all. Like I needed that. Like,
what QB out here do you think is on the college rank that you think is like that? Like, who are you looking at and you're like, yeah, he all right, he can spin it.
Like in college?
Yeah.
That's a guy that's on the radar or just anybody just like,
who even if it's somebody that you should be like, coach, check him out. But like a guy that's on the radar or not?
Not. I like Cam Ward. I watched Cam Ward. He's at Miami now, but I watched him at Incarnate World.
Okay.
He was at Corner World in Texas, which is FCS, to Washington State. Now he's at Miami. Mm-hmm. His composure is crazy. Mm-hmm. He's never too high or too low, and he's so calm in the pocket. Like you see guys with jittery feet, with the mechanics jumping back. He is literally relaxed and chilled. He doesn't get too high or too low, and I love watching his game.
Okay.
I would say him. Quinn Ewers at Texas is just a natural gunslinger. Like his mechanics and everything, his feet honestly be crazy, and he can just throw the ball like just a flick of the wrist.
Yeah,
and you can't teach that.
Right.
I'm liking what Pitt's doing with Eli Holstein. Pitt with with his situation. Just like we was talking about the transfer portal earlier. Like he was at Alabama before.
Right.
Now he's got Pitt, and he's
balling.
Crazy. He's balling. He's doing his thing. Who else? I can't wait to see Duke's quarterback Malik Murphy next year because this is his first year. It's your first year, so you're really seeing who you can really trust in certain situations. You're just getting your feet wet. You're really seeing if you can trust your peers and your guys. So, but as in from an athletic standpoint, he can do it all.
Okay.
He's 6'5" with a rocket arm. Like like I watched him. He's from Cali. He went to Sarah, which they got a lot of great players. Like Robert Woods went there.
Mm-hmm.
Dory Jackson. Like I love football. I know guys from everywhere. I watch from high school to up. So like people like how do you know this? Like I watch football.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm a student.
I'm a student. Like I love it. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. Who else would I say?
Well, you know what? Because this is a open platform, and there are people who rewatch it, and the coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Who in the Berg, as a high school player, would you say coaches need to put an eye on?
I got to figure out his name, but Peters Township quarterback. I like his game. I love his game. I got to figure out. He's number 17, Peters Township.
Okay.
They won Whitfield the past 2 years. He's looking for a three-peat, and he's probably trying to capitalize with a state title for his last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peters Township quarterback. I like his game. I'm trying to think who else. There's some young guys. Gateway got a young guy. Elvis Kasakis. That's how you say it. He's a freshman, little guy, but he's gonna be good. I can see it. Like you see it in him. Like, he's good. I'm trying to think who else that I really.
Who's the kid that and if you are in the comments and you're from Pittsburgh and you know who he is, who's the kid from Penn Hills, number 1? I've been trying to get him on the podcast because I want to also get Pittsburgh kids on as well.
I can find his name. I can't think of his name, but he plays running back. He does everything for Penn Hills.
Yeah.
Like
for those that don't know, Penn Hills is the school that Aaron Donald came from.
Yeah, and they got a lot of pros there too. Aaron Donald, Trayvon Hester, which I grew up with him in Wilkinsburg. And just like you said earlier, a lot of people come from the same places. And when we get to high school, we go to different places.
Yeah. I gotta get Hess on here too. Hess. So for those who don't know, Hess played for the Eagles. He played pros, and I think that was the year that they went to the 2 years ago. How long ago was that? He was the one that blocked the field goal for them to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it was in the playoffs. We'll get to the second round.
Okay, I got to get him on here as well too, because he's coaching now as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he went back to Penn Hills. He was at Toledo, and he always talked about. He's like, man, I'm trying to get back to high school. So yeah, he's at Penn Hills right now, and I could get you. Lock. I could tell him that you're trying to get him on. I talk to Trey Hess all the time. So
man, tell Hess he needs to be on here. He did me a solid when my defensive end was talking about getting a job, and meanwhile he got all these. He was top 300 on ESPN and had all these recruits. He's like, Coach, I got to get a job. I'm like, you got to get a job. Football's your job. So I called Hess like, Hess, you got to talk to him. And you know how Hester talks real slow. Yeah. He was like, who is it? I said, it's my DN. He's like, all right, put me on speaker. I'm trying to get a job. Man, you might as well just quit. My man just looked at the phone like, what? Like, and so these guys, the same thing when I had for those who are in North Carolina who remember the gentleman we had on who got injured, and Aaron Donald gave him a call, and Aaron Donald helped motivate him as well. Like it's a network and it's a family, and I want that down here, because when I tell you the one thing, T. Woody, when you talk about coaching, I have never seen as many black coaches down like it is down here. Like getting a job as a head coach, a OC, any of that stuff down here is not hard as long as you got the resume, because you can go into the HBCU world, you can go into the high school world. It's not like it is at home, because people die in their positions at home.
It's real tough.
But down here, but the one thing that is different is it's not necessarily a fraternity. Everybody's very segregated, where it's a fraternity back at home.
Football goes a long way, man. That's what I kind of tell even like the kids. So I like being a coach is because when I was I'm very big on, I kind of go by this quote, just being the person that you needed when you were younger. So I am hands-on with letting you know the real and the truth. I'm a young black kid just like you. Yeah. I know how people think, I know how people are, and it's my job to get you ready for the real world.
Right.
And that's I'm really, really, really that's important to me. I got to get you ready. So, and football's a fraternity, like you said. So if I can't, if we made a connection or anything, and if I can't call this person, then you did it the wrong way.
Right. Right.
So,
absolutely.
Just right now, football fraternity, you're all in North Carolina.
Right. Right.
We right here right now.
And we talking like we right down the street.
Right. So football goes a long way, man. Yeah. It's family. teaches you discipline in life, not just in the game of football. And it teaches you how to interact with people from all different places everybody has this one common thing, which is football, but it teaches you how to interact with one another because you'll meet someone that's from a totally different place from you. But once you're here on this game and this football and this playing ground, you get he's similar. We are the same people.
Right.
He's just like me. But a lot of people are not thinking like that just because someone comes from a different place. But you get to learn that once you go through these phases, and football teaches you all of that.
Because I gotta trust this dude, even though I may not even like him. Once we get out here, I gotta trust him. And so that locker room is imperative. And like you said, it's a fraternity that I think these young guys don't get the opportunity to get the fullest of their relationship because everything is about self and how much money can I make, how much NIL can I get, and you miss out on the opportunity of really just knowing that I'm in the grind with these dudes. Like, it may not be about the money right now. It's just about getting our name out here collectively as a whole. And I think the coaches who can do that with the team, your squad's going to go as far as you want them to go. Because I do feel as that element is missing, because it's hard to hold a dude accountable who's only looking out for himself. He ain't thinking about the team in the first place.
Right. And just like I said, you got to reach out and really trust the guy next to you, because like football goes a long way. So when you guys are both away from the game, this guy could be the next president at this company. This is the next A&R at a record label. This is the next, you never know who you might meet. You never know who you might know. So, man, get out there and talk to everybody. And that's another thing I used to do when I was a quarterback at Akron. I used to talk to, if I see a kid by themselves, once I felt comfortable with that being my role. Yeah. This is supposed to be your family away from home. So I'm going to make you feel comfortable here. And a lot of guys felt like just because I was the quarterback, he can't talk to them. I'm like, this is not a movie. We're here together. We're grinding together. Right. This is not High School Musical. You should be able to come and talk to me. You should be able to come sit with me at lunch when we go to the school caf. We're in this together. We're grinding together. Summer workouts, winter workouts. We're here together. We're all away from our family. So when we come here, this is supposed to be family and home away from home. So I
ain't gonna lie, man. I miss y'all dudes, man. And I love the people down here, but I miss y'all because home is different when it comes down to ball. Our mindset is a lot different. Now, hoops down here is the way. Basketball is like football back at home.
Oh, I know that. I'm already knowing.
Yeah, down here now, basketball, AAU circuit, and the teams and the squads, they clicked up. Football down here has a long way to go, at least on our side. Now, Charlotte's side is a lot different because I ain't gonna lie. I had to call Coach Smith when I found out he was at Charlotte and didn't come to Raleigh. I'm like, yo, man, you in Charlotte and you ain't come holler at me? He's like, you know how it is. I'm in and out, man. You know how Coach talk. I gotta be in and out, man. But no, for real though, what I would like to do, and I'm putting it out here so people can hold me accountable. Hey, Woody, man, if you got young guys, players, any of that stuff, high school or whatever that you want to use this platform for, and we can just link up together and just get some guys from the Berg on here to interview and talk to, please, man, let's do it together.
I'm cool. Hey, I'm cool with it, man. I'm with it.
Bet, man. So it was great talking to you, man. And please, like I said, hit me up. If we can get 3 guys within the next 2-3 weeks or so, let me know and we'll put them on.
For sure, and I'm gonna talk to Hess for you too. I'm gonna let him know.
Hess, man, this ain't even a question. Yes, he better be on.
Get on here. You don't got a choice. Get on here.
Right, my man. I appreciate you, man. And for those watching, thank you for tuning in. Once again, this is Tommy Gunn. Tommy, tell everybody how they can get with the sheriff, man.
You can contact me on pretty much everything at Woody Way 325 on here. It's kind of like my business accounts, Instagram, Twitter. And just how things are and how the days are now, I just made a TikTok just because kids are on TikTok heavy. So my name is the same on everything, and even Facebook, Woody Way as well. So you guys can reach out to me all on all platforms, pretty much. Twitter as well, on here as well. And Sheriff Woody 413 on Instagram, Sheriff Woody 13 on Twitter. But Woody Way 325 is pretty much my business accounts on all platforms, so you can reach out to me on there as well.
Bet, man. I appreciate your time, and this won't be the last time that we do it. and I'll talk to you soon. And everybody else, man, I'll see y'all next week. We're going to have three North Carolina guys on the high school highlight, and Coach Ed Brooks will be back again. So see y'all next week. Watch the replay on YouTube. I got First and Goal 365, or you can just watch it on Coach Ken Blocker's YouTube, or you can go to First and Goal 365 on Instagram or Coach Block on Facebook. So it'll be playing there and it'll last there forever. So with that being said, peace. Enjoy football today, man. Talk to y'all later.
Sure.
Peace.
Have a good one.
All right.